Hey guys, it is, I believe, day number 10, and we are on a completely new build. Nice experimental one. Just going to jump in this tier 10 map because we're only level 81 and we are still leveling up the character right now. So yeah, only in yellow maps, do not get baited. This is not an endgame build, just a complete experiment. Nothing's even on POB yet, so I can't even like really POB it, but this is what we are moving into next, and we're just going to see what we can do with it, really, and yeah, see what we can come up with off meta. I sort of had a look what some people were doing on PoE Ninja, on ladder, and like combined it with stuff that we've played before, and this is like sort of what we've come up with, like a mix of both. Grab the bismuth ore here, just so it looks super cool. I kind of want them to add a MTX that actually makes bismuth ore like permanent, like always on. Let's grab these shrines. And we'll grab this next one. So yeah, sort of like an auto bomber playstyle. We are using a 5-link penance brand as well. Haven't got into a 6-link yet because mana's a problem that I still need to solve. To be honest with you, like everything's a problem on this build. Like fizz hit is crazy. Like bleeds, absolute no go. And yeah, we are just doing this right now and just blowing up tier 10s to level up. We've only got like, I think like 6 or 7 hours played on this character. And then we'll pop our skills, kill the map boss. There we go. So that's the map showcase for our new build. Like I said, only a tier 10 Omega LOL yellow map, so do not get baited. Not an endgame build right now. Might never be, but we'll see how it shapes up. So just gonna jump into the reason why I'm on this character. The jug, we've shelved it for now. We've shelved our Molten Strike of the Zenith jug. Reason why, I just decided to draw a line under it and call it a successful league start. I still have the character, haven't sold any of the items. It's worth about, I think the character's worth probably about 200 divine right now. So I've still got that character sat there if we want to go back to doing what we were doing and maybe min-max it a bit further. But the reason why is because it's starting to get to the point now where all of the upgrades are quite expensive. Sort of looking at Progenesis, Nimbus, like a I can't remember what they're called, but the Purity of Fire Uber Shaper gem, I think it is. Um, they're extremely expensive. Original Sin, extremely expensive, and then you'd need to replace the sword with another very expensive sword. So that's the reason why we've came off that. It just felt like we were farming a lot to not get a lot of like stuff to show out of it, right? Like it's kind of important for me to like have stuff to show when I've actually farmed, right? I did like level 99 to 100. I came out of that farming session with 120 divine, and I still felt like I didn't really have anything to like show people for it, right? I could get one item, and yeah, so that's the reason why we came out of that for now. Like I said, still got it, still could go back and min-max it a bit further if we wish to, but we're just gonna have some fun. We're just gonna experiment with the new Foulborn stuff. Even without selling anything on that character, I had about 100 divine left over just from like farming from 99 to 100, and I actually went and I brought like every Foulborn that looked interesting. Got like Inspired Learning here. This is the cheap one. I've actually got the expensive one on tree, the no notable one, which is here, and I'll go through this character in a sec. But yeah, so we went through, I think we spent about 25 divine just buying all of these Foulborns that just looked interesting to build around, and we're just going to play around with them for a while. We're just going to see what we can do with them. So that is roughly what I'm doing. Got still another 75 divine sat there. We've chipped into it for this build, and yeah, so this build, what are we doing with it? We are building around Lost Unity, the new gem. Grants us level 30 Herald of the Hive skill, and what that does is grants a buff which causes us to deal more damage for each herald affecting us. So we've got all of these heralds affecting us. You can see we've got 4 now. We don't have Herald of Agony on. Right now I don't think it's worth putting on just for this. But this is sort of funneling damage into Herald of the Hive, which we're then sort of like utilizing with Penance Brand, because it has I think it's Fizz conversion, right? I think it's just 50% of Fizz. Yeah, 50% of Fizz converted to Lightning. So the other, 50% we're playing around with that with Herald of the Hive. On top of that, all the heralds add Herald of Ash adds Fizz as extra fire, which is nice for Penance Brand. Herald of Purity causes us to deal more physical damage, so again, nice for Penance Brand. Herald of Ice gives us added spell cold damage, nice for Purity, nice for Penance Brand, sorry. And then Herald of Thunder also does the same, and it also has this like little shock effect too, right? So they're all nice for Penance Brand. That's sort of why I'm building into that at the minute. You can see I've only got a 5 link at the minute because mana was a bit of an issue. So we're fixing that. We've got to fix like Fizz mitigation, degens, evasion probably. Got to fix all these problems. But this is like the shell of the build. And you can see these pulses are quite slow right now, but every otherworldly pressure you get with the build from inflicting ailments makes it pulse faster. So the reason why we are Warden, actually, if I go into the right tree, we're Warden to utilize all of this ailment stuff right now. I didn't go for Oath of Winter because I didn't think it was that good right now. I went for Barkskin instead, just to help us out with the tankiness a little bit because we are very, very squishy. Yeah, and then Oath of Spring can apply up to 50 shocks. Kind of cool, right? Let's play around with that. Avatar of the Wild's given us Unbound Avatar and hits always inflict free shock and ignite while unbound. Very cool. Works well with the skill. And then Oath of Summer giving us 2 Scorches, which will reduce elemental resistances on the enemy. Again, pretty cool. So here's the tree at the minute. We haven't even loaded this character into POB yet. So the next skill point I'm going to go is Zealot's Oath, so we can actually utilize the 3% regen on our flasks. But yeah, and then we'll go for this brand wheel here. But this is what we're doing with the build right now. So how we're staying alive is this was actually brought up to me by one of my friends. So what we're actually doing is Tempered by War, 50% of cold and lightning damage taken as fire damage. And then on top of that, we're using Dawnbreaker, 20% of cold, 20% of lightning, 20% of fizz taken as fire. Perfectly rolled. I think this was 9 divine. Pretty nice. I've wanted one of these for a while and it was fairly cheap. So that is 70%. And then we have a Watcher's Eye, which is 20% of cold and lightning taken as fire while affected by Purity of Fire. And we are affected by Purity of Fire. And then we have a Bound by Destiny with 10% of elemental taken as chaos if 400 items are equipped. They are complete filler items. They have basically no good stats on them. So that is what we're using right now to get the last 10%. And then obviously that is going on to chaos damage. We are immune to chaos damage, so that 10% is like taken off essentially. And that is how we're staying alive, along with some ES. We are super low ES, 2500, as you can see. We are so squishy, you wouldn't believe it. But the core of the build is sort of playable, right? I'm actually able to play it and be in maps and level. So once I can actually figure out how to POB this and scale it, that is how that is what we're gonna do, right? So that is what we're doing at the minute. Super cool, super experimental. Yeah, guess what? It's bad right now, but like it doesn't matter, right? Like I'm having fun with it. Still got our old build if we want to go back and play that, but yeah, right now we're choosing just to experiment with the new Foulborn stuff. So that is what we're currently doing, and I will be bringing out some updates on this vid. on this build. Sorry, let me just unspec that while I see it. I just saw a node in there that I want to come out of. Okay, so that is what we're currently doing. Oh, the other thing too, how we're scaling more damage. So obviously heralds and this Herald of the Hive doesn't scale with like added flat or added flat to spells because it's not a spell. So we have gone for Replica Nebulous. I believe this is new. It gives 11% increased elemental damage per fire, cold, or lightning resist missing. So it caps at 450. And you can see we're at 14% cold and 30% lightning. So this has given us, with the implicit, which we got a max rolled implicit 120%, it's given us 500% elemental damage, which is scaling our herald damage. So that is how we're scaling damage right now. Yeah, cool, off the wall, sort of a mix and match of like 3 different builds we saw on ladder. I don't think anyone's coming up with something similar to this at the minute, and we're just going to see what we can do with it. If it turns out to be bad and unplayable, it turns out to be bad and unplayable, but at least we've had a look at it, right? So there we go. That's what we're doing for fun for the time being. So I will mention before I go, going forward, since I've played 2 league starts, like back to back, which was TLI and 3.27, I play loads on League Star, right? It's been quite intense for the last couple of weeks. So just to be clear, I'm not burnt out, but I am likely to pivot to a couple more fun builds like this that I can spend my time on creatively, and like Theorycraft with the new stuff, and check out the new Foulborn stuff, and just play about with the game now. I'm not going to be pushing them as far as I did with the Jug, but this will let me play quite a bit less while still putting out some vids with like the same schedule, right? Like I'm aiming to carry on releasing vids most days of the week. It's more likely going to be about 5 vids a week. So this should be sustainable through the entire league and should have like some short pivots to other content as it comes up. So other content that's coming up, we have Old School RuneScape Salem release. If you're an Old School RuneScape player, I did start a new Iron Man a couple of months ago, and I've pre-recorded some progress vids on that I will be releasing, but probably not right now, just because I want to have like a backlog of them ready to release. So if you're into Old School RuneScape, check those out when they eventually get released. And then there's also Project Diablo 2 releasing a ladder reset on the 29th of November that I'm planning to check out. Never played it. It has come highly recommended by a friend, so we're probably going to check it out. We're probably going to chuck some videos up on the channel about it. So if you're interested in seeing that, feel free to subscribe. I don't like saying subscribe like whatever, but like, do it if you want to, if you want to see that stuff that I'll be bringing out. And yeah, this is the current pivot in direction that we're going. So yeah, stay tuned for that. As always, jump in the Discord if you want help with any build. Happy to take a look at any POB. Chuck it in the Discord. We'll take a look at it. If you're having a problem, we'll see if we can fix it. So that was me done. Quite a nice chunky update. I will see you probably tomorrow.